Have you actually received some physical abuse?
I was spat on once by a player.
League at the semi-professional level, they've seen a clear reduction in dissent because of the use of sin bins.
Is the ref done?
We all love the beautiful game, but the treatment towards referees is something that taints it on a regular basis. One factor that is evident is the lack of respect for officials, especially coming from supporters and the players. What I want to do is to go on a journey to see what it's like being a referee, how they deal with the abuse and the support that's put in place. I'm here in Bournemouth following referee Ian Chiddicks in his match today and seeing what officiating is really like. Hello Ian.
Good afternoon.
Elliott, thank you for meeting with me.
Not a problem at all.
So how long have you been reffing for, Ian?
About 20 years.
And what made you want to become an official of football?
I got too old when I was a player.
And what's the preparations you have in plan for today?
Well, I tend to get to the ground at least an hour before the kick-off. Just to have a relax, have a cup of coffee, and just chill out, get the team sheets.
Is there anything you tell the players before kick-off?
I'll go and speak to them and just remind them of the laws of the game and how I want the game to be played, which is in a proper manner, fair. I don't mind hard tackles, it's got to be fair.
So how do you think the game's gone so far?
It's a bit tetchy as we would expect, but we've stamped down on one with a yellow card for each side for a bit of adopting an aggressive attitude. We've had a little bit of verbals with some dodgy decisions from the lino, but they've got to accept the fact that these aren't official linesmen and they're doing them a favour by being here. So just get on with it, and hopefully it's going to be a nice calm second half.
Hey, Ben, back up. Don't let us down. I wasn't talking. Keep going. All that in. Keep coming.
So, full time, how do you think the second half went?
The second half went okay actually. There was a few little incidents. There was a bad tackle down in the corner, but most of the time it was keeping people quiet. We had one sin bin in that half, dissent following the penalty. He didn't agree, and he's not allowed to disagree in the way that he did.
No, exactly.
So he has 10 minutes off the pitch, but at the end of the day it didn't affect the result.
As you can see, there was abuse throughout towards you, from supporters, from other officials. How did that essentially make you feel?
Disappointed, but not surprised. Unfortunately, it does go on. When you've been refereeing as long as I have, you have to know what level you're happy to take. Now, in a cup game like this, emotions are always going to be high. There's always some level of abuse that you are going to take. If you can't take that level of abuse, then probably refereeing isn't for you. But once it crosses the line, then you've got to stamp your authority on it. And the sin bins help us to do that.
Yeah. And now that the game's completely finished, when you go home, would you say for example, from today, would the abuse have any effect on you? Would you think in your head, oh, well, I didn't deserve that at all? Or
for me, it doesn't have any effect, because when I finish on the football pitch, that's it. It's done and dusted. For a young referee, it can have an effect on them, and I've seen it before.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Very much. According to a survey last year from the National Association of Sports Officials, out of 17,000 respondents, 87% said they have received verbal abuse. Additionally, 13% had received physical abuse. Referee Dave Pickles has received a fair amount of abuse during his time as an official. I came to meet him at Bournemouth University, where he referees a six-a-side league. Have you received any abuse?
Plenty of verbal abuse, but only not really a great deal of physical abuse.
Have you actually received some physical abuse?
I was spat on once by a player.
Spat on?
Yeah, by a player. This is a long, long time ago. His own club was more disgusted than I was, I think.
Rightfully so. Would you say there's enough protection put in place for referees, such as yourself?
Protection's a big word, isn't it? Physical wise, there's not a lot of physical abuse goes on. There's the odd occasion. Mine is, for instance, only really once in 2,000 games. So you wouldn't say it was a big physical threat, but the verbal threats are sometimes there.
It does put you down.
It doesn't worry me. But a lot of younger referees can't cope with it.
What Dave had to tell me was intriguing. It did raise the question on if referees do get enough protection from the FA. I travelled to Basingstoke to meet up with Andy Moisey from Hampshire FA. He's the referee development officer there, who would be able to give me some more information.
Hello, Andy.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, what safeguards are already in place for referees?
At the grassroots level of the game, obviously you've got the laws of the game, which referees adhere to. In terms of low-level dissent, you're probably aware that the Football Association started a pilot about 2 years ago in terms of sin bins. Sin bins have now been rolled out nationally in terms of from the start of the season, and basically where a player shows low-level dissent, a referee can sin bin a player for 10 minutes. You'll find that a majority of leagues have agreed that being able to put a player in the sin bin for 10 minutes, giving them a chance to calm down and then allowing them to come on has worked. Obviously, even in the Wessex League at the semi-professional level, they've seen a clear reduction in dissent because of the use of sin bins.
What additional measurements could be taken to protect referees?
I think it's all about education, if I'm being brutally honest. In terms of, we've been asked the question numerous times, why can't referees have body cams? Simple answer to that one is until the International Football Association board approve it, we can't have body cams. Whether I agree with that or not is, unfortunately, is immaterial. But currently, they won't allow us to wear body cams. So I think it's all about education in terms of educating players, educating clubs, educating leagues, but also educating referees on they've got to show respect to players. They've got to behave in the right way, and respect has to be earned. Referees can't just go out there and I have a laugh and a joke with my colleague Declan on frequent occasions when we go and see referees. It's not about the referee. It's about refereeing the game in the right manner, and then hopefully respect is then obviously earned.
So I've now heard from referees and FA members alike. What I've found out is that more experienced refs are able to deal with verbal abuse on a regular basis. However, the behaviour towards refs is a lot tougher to take on a younger official and might stop them from carrying on their career. At the end of the day, football can't survive without referees, so we need to do our part in treating them with respect.